Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at solving formulas for a given variable and to solve an equation with two or more variables for one of the variables. A formula is an equation that states a rule for relationship among quantities. So for example, in the formula d equals RT, d is isolated, or in other words, by itself. And you can rearrange a formula to isolate any variable by using inverse operations, and this is called solving for a variable. So to start, when we're solving for a variable, first you're going to locate the variable, and that you want to find the one that you are solving for in the equation, because remember there's going to be more than one. Then you're going to identify the operations on which are happening to this variable, in the order in which they are applied, and then we're going to use, finally, inverse operations to undo and isolate the variable. So essentially it's like solving a normal equation, it's just that we're going to be having variable answers instead of numeric ones. Now here's an example. The formula c equals pi times diameter gives the circumference of a circle c in terms of diameter d. The circumference of a bowl is 18 inches. What is the bowl's diameter? And leave the symbol pi in your answer. So here we have circumference equals pi times diameter. Okay, so the circumference is 18 inches, so I'm going to put 18 equals pi times diameter. And they want to know the bowl's diameter, so I'm going to solve for d. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi. So 18 divided by pi is equal to d. And that would be our final answer. Now let's look at another example. The formula for the area of a triangle is area equals 1/2 base times height, where b is the length of the base and h is the height. We want to solve for h. So here, first thing I'm going to do is get rid of my 1/2. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So this becomes 2 times the area is equal to our base times our height. I'm going to divide by b on both sides, so 2a over b is equal to our height. Now I want you to take a turn, so pause the video and try this one on your own. The formula for an object's final velocity is F equals I minus gt, where I is the initial velocity, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and t is time. I'm going to solve for I. So F equals I minus gt. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add gt to both sides. So f plus gt, since they're unlike terms, we can't combine them, is equal to I. It still works the same way even if we have numbers involved as well. So here we have solve x plus y equals 15 for x. I'm solving for x. I'm going to go ahead and subtract y from both sides. It's our inverse, so this would be x equals 15 minus y. So why don't you try pq equals x for q? Because they're being multiplied, divide both sides by p. So now q is equal to x over p. 2 more examples for you to try out, so go ahead and pause the video, try these out, and check your work. Now we want to solve for t. Since we have 5 minus b equals 2t, divide both sides by 2. Now notice when I do a side with multiplication or division, it has to be applied to the whole side. So here the 5 minus b is all over 2 equals t. So you have to make sure that you're applying it to everything. Here we're solving for v. This one's going to be a little bit different. So if we have m over v, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by v so I get it out of the denominator. So now I have dv equals m. And because I'm solving for v, I'm going to divide by d. So v is actually equal to m over d.